Good morning, everyone. It is December 31st, New Year's Eve 2020. One of the most commonly asked questions that we get around this time is, how do you heat your greenhouses? Well, we don't, for the most part. Any crops that we have growing during the winter time, we use cover crops. We've got everything cold hardy. So everything is planted keeping in mind cold temperatures and what's going to survive it. Some of them we still need to put the row covers on. Other than that, we don't really heat the greenhouses. We will be putting them both back to raised beds with hardware cloth under them so the gophers stay out. But this is the part that we heat. And this little section over here, we call our incubator. And that's where we start our seeds. And once they get growing, and then we will move them into this section, which we call the staging area. So let's go inside the incubator first. This one we will direct heat. The heater is off right now. I had it on last night on low, and it maintained a temperature in here of, I think, 64. No heater on right now. It's 10:30 in the morning. It is 76. Yesterday it got up to 108. These are all of the new little tomato transplants that I started 2 weeks ago. And they were getting at least each one a couple inches plus. So I needed to get them in the soil. So they will stay in here until they get big enough to go into the staging area. Now, soon enough, all of these shelves are going to be full. Got to trim the weeds down. But there's an opening back here. And once we start having plants in the staging area, which is right behind here, that plastic will come off and the heat will also go into the staging area. It won't be as hot as in here, but it will heat it. So the little bit larger plants won't need it as warm. So let's go check that out. Okay, this is our staging area. As you can see, on the other side of that is where the incubator is. Okay, so we pot everything in here. And last year, it was only right about up to here. And we decided to expand it, so we moved it back. We put black plastic behind there so that it's going to help retain the heat a little more. We will add more shelves all along this wall. We'll add them all along this wall and probably in the center as well. So all we did was put some planks up there on the purlins and drape the plastic over, and then we'll have it, once I start putting plants in here, I'll have it sealed a little bit more. But this is the area that we heat. As you can see, our greenhouses are just way too big to be heating the whole thing, and especially if I'm not growing a lot of stuff out here. There's no need for it. And we are off grid, so we can't just hook up an electric heater out here. It'll pull too much from our batteries. So one thing that we're looking at, it's on the back burner for maybe next year, is the rocket stoves or some kind of pellet stove in here, but we will have to frame out for an air vent to go outside too. So that's how we heat, just a small section. And actually the plants will stay in that staging area until they're ready to go into the ground. And if we need to, we'll put them in bigger pots as they're growing, because I don't want to have them get root bound either. But it's worked really well for us before. So that's how we do it. Happy New Year.